My company has dispatched me on a one-week business trip to another city. Storytelling. After sending me to court, Isaac cried his heart out and accused me before the judge. He claimed that I regularly abused Marianne, both verbally and physically, and that I had repeatedly expressed a desire for her to die. His performance successfully stirred up public outrage. Tens of thousands of people signed petitions demanding that I pay for Marianne's life. The police then presented surveillance footage from our residential complex in court. The video clearly showed my car entering the underground garage at 7 p.m. It showed me taking the elevator to the 10th floor. Even neighbors living on the same floor testified that they had heard me cursing at Marianne and beating her inside the apartment. Then, 10 minutes later, a sickening crash echoed through the house. Right on cue, Marianne plummeted from the balcony. She died on impact. With all that evidence stacked against me, I was sentenced to death in court. Meanwhile, Isaac and Kathy got exactly what they wanted. They got rid of Marianne, the burden they no longer wanted to deal with. Then they collected a huge compensation payout, sent me to prison, and seized all of my assets. Those comments sent an ice-cold shiver down my spine. The monsters had been right beside me this whole time, and I never even saw them coming. Although I still had no idea how they had managed to fabricate such a perfect crime scene or how they had somehow made the me in the original timeline cooperate so completely, there was only one thing I could do now. I had to be patient. Every second I spent pretending to be unconscious felt unbearably long. It wasn't until the clock on the wall ticked past 7:10 p.m. that I finally let out a quiet breath of relief and slowly opened my eyes. Just then, the hospital room door was gently pushed open. Since I was awake, the doctor performed a brief examination. Fortunately, my car's safety features had held up well, and I hadn't been driving too fast. Aside from some minor external injuries, there was nothing serious. The CT scan of my head came back normal as well. A few days of rest would be enough for a full recovery. After the doctor left, two traffic officers in uniform entered the room carrying notebooks and pens. "Miss, how are you feeling now?" one of them asked. "Would you mind cooperating with a brief inquiry about how the accident unfolded?" I rubbed my still aching head and replied softly, "Thank you. I'm fine now, just a little dizzy." After a pause, I put on an expression of someone trying hard to remember. I was stopped at a red light when my phone suddenly went off. I instinctively reached for it, and somehow I accidentally hit the accelerator instead. Before I knew it, the car shot forward. The officers carefully recorded every word. One of them nodded and said, "We've already investigated the scene. At this point, it appears to have been a single vehicle accident. Fortunately, no other cars or pedestrians were involved. However, you'll likely be responsible for the cost of repairing the concrete barrier you hit. Also, the front end of your vehicle suffered significant damage. We've already arranged for it to be towed to the dealership for inspection and repairs." I nodded lightly, and a bitter smile crossed my face. "Of course, that's my responsibility. Thank you, officers. Sorry for the trouble. I had taken a financial hit and ended up with scrapes all over my body, but it was worth it." There had been traffic officers, medical staff, and so many